What's up? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the Minor League Take. I'm your host, Brad Case. And this episode, we have Jack Herman. Jack Herman is the first fan requested interview. Appreciate that fan for reaching out and saying he wants to hear about him. So here's his story. Me and Jack have been playing together since 2018 when we met in the GCL. We played for a short time together in Loway out in Greensboro, where we were roommates for those few short days. Jack's a high energy, young, fun kid. And I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy his story. He brings a lot of energy to this interview, and I'm sure you guys are going to love it. Don't forget to go follow us on all social medias at the MILB Take and at MILB Take on Instagram and Twitter, as well as go check out the TikTok because putting up some more videos on there. And if you guys can go over there and give me some support there, it can help grow this page. I can continue, bringing you guys better and better quality stuff and get you guys better and better people to bring on the show. As always, this is brought to you by More Than Baseball. More Than Baseball is an amazing organization that helps minor leaguers like myself and everyone else on this podcast. They currently are doing a grant giveaway right now where they're helping out minor leaguers financially. So if you are a minor leaguer and that's something that interests you, free money, please go check it out. Adam Wainwright and Daniel Murphy and several other big leaguers have very generously donated to their cause. So I really encourage you guys to go check them out. All right. Thank you guys and enjoy this podcast. Jack Herman, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. How you doing, buddy?
Of course, Bradley. I'm great, man. Just miss you a bit.
Miss you too, man. I think the audio is still delayed, but whatever. We'll figure it out as we get going.
Yeah, we'll just roll with it, bro. Just roll with it.
How's everything been, man? How's training up there in Jersey been?
It's good, man. It's cold. It's cold now.
Hell yeah,
but it's been good. I mean, I've been able to train at the facility for a while. Everything's going well, dude. I got no complaints up here.
That's good to hear. Yeah, man. I was sick of the cold up in New York, so I got the hell out. Drove down to Florida. I'm all set up here. But let's jump right into it. Let's go to where we start with everybody on the podcast. Let's go to the high school days of Jack Herman. So kind of run me through what was high school baseball? What it kind of looked like for you?
Dude, high school baseball was actually pretty crazy for me because going into eighth grade year, going into freshman year, my name on the travel side, travel baseball side was pretty well known, I would say. So I actually ended up committing to Maryland as a freshman, before my freshman baseball season even happened. So me going into freshman baseball, it was hey, I'm already committed to a college. But my biggest worry was how are these seniors and juniors going to portray me some just scrawny ass kid walking in as a freshman? He's already got Maryland, he's probably not that cool of a kid. And I'm dang. This is going to be I got to make sure I meet these guys, they know who I am. And that was probably the toughest thing going into freshman year was hey, I'm committed. So now I have a target on my back that I have to play like that and not just play any old freshman in high school.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. People start to expect a lot out of you, being committed to a big D1 that early. And just kind of making sure that you all of a sudden don't get a big head. And I know you don't have a big head. But, I can definitely see how a lot of people initially can be oh, man, this kid's already committed. He probably thinks it's exactly. Because I've definitely seen it before.
Yeah, bro. No, it was definitely a lot of stress added to freshman year of baseball that I didn't even need. There's enough stress trying to make varsity and meet the seniors and play well. But that added on top of it was all right. In myself, I was I'm committed to be a college already. I'm fine. But outside of that, I was yo, I got to make sure I live up to that. And it was especially weird for my coach to come in and he's I don't even have seniors committed. And this kid's coming in and he's already committed.
He's already got it figured out. How did that kind of process go for you? I mean, you're what, 14 years old at that point?
Yeah. Well, I'm 14, a little old for my grade. So 15? My birthday's in September. So probably 15. I was in 90.
Yeah. Still how did that process work? Because I went through the normal way. I wasn't able to commit as early as that. How does it work?
Dude, what was pretty crazy about it was I was going to tournaments and I was not really on the radar that much. There was no through Perfect Game and stuff as an eighth grader, unless you go to their crazy showcases, which I didn't. Your name's not on their radar.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go to these tournaments and I would do well. I would do well here and there. And then it really hit when so I played for this team called Bubba Baseball
Yeah,
out of
I know some
New
guys that
Jersey
were there.
with Kevin Schneider, and he's actually the reason I probably got committed so early. We had like just a practice at our facility, and they invited like 3 colleges there to like watch like the sophomores and juniors in college. And I guess I did pretty well. So Maryland was like, they didn't say anything to me that day, but they talked to Kevin like, hey,
The sophomores and juniors in high school.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. You said college. We're continue.
Oh,
My
my
bad.
bad. That's my fault. My fault. And then like they didn't say anything to me, but they talked to my coach. It was like, hey, we'd like to see him more. Like, make sure we know when he's going to play in tournaments and stuff. So then I played in a couple tournaments. They saw me. I did well, and I just remember being in Florida, and I'm at a hotel, and like I think I had a crappy game. I was like, I was just pissed off, and I get a call from Kevin Schneider, my coach. He called me and my dad. He goes, hey, can you guys come down to the lobby real quick? We have to talk. I have to talk to you. And I was like, oh, shit, what's happening? Like, I get kicked off a travel team I'm paying for.
You're like, I had one bad game. What the hell?
Exactly. So I go down there and he's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that like University of Maryland's like wants to offer you like a scholarship. And I was like, what? My dad just didn't say a word. He was just like,
Yeah.
And so I was just sitting there and I was like, dude, you're joking. Like, I'm in 8th grade right now. He's like, no, like I'm dead serious. Like he wants to get in touch with you. Like, here's his number. Like, give him a call later today. And like, I don't even think my dad said a word that whole day, dude. Like, he was just like on his phone, like, what is going on? Like, texting, calling my mom and stuff.
Yeah.
But I forgot to mention, like, at the time, Maryland was my favorite school, like, ever. I played
Really?
one tournament down there when I was in like 6th grade, 5th grade, like just like
And you just fell
like
in
a
love
mess
with the
around
place.
tournament, and I just fell in love with it. So like when they said that, I was like automatically in my head, like I'm committing. Like that's what I just said in my head. And it only took
That's
like
sick.
a couple months after that to visit the school and see the coaches and meet the players. And then I ended up committing, which was pretty crazy, dude.
Damn. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, did you even think that it was possible, like, to do stuff
No,
that
dude.
early?
No, I didn't know it was possible at all, dude. Like in my head, it was just like, hey, play well. And that, like, that's about it. Like there was nothing, like I had dudes on my team that were committing to colleges and stuff because they were way older. They were like 2 or 3 years older than me. So like it was kind of like normalized for me. And I kind of like associated myself as an older kid.
Yeah.
So like when it happened to me, it didn't hit me at first like that. I'm this young ass kid that's getting a commitment. I just felt like everybody else getting commitments, you know? Until I really sat back and I was like, dang, like this is crazy.
I mean,
that's kind of how that went. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know for myself, like when I was like 16, 17, trying to get recruited to college, like there were the cases that like you hear about a kid as an 8th grader, freshman in high school, like committing, and you're like, dude, what the hell? Like, what the hell's going on? Why can't they just recruit me? I'm right here in front of them and I'm ready to go. But that's surreal. Like to do that early. Did you start to notice like, you know, you had this talent level to, you know, be able to play up and like be with these, you know, be a D1 talent that young? When did you start to kind of realize that in yourself?
Dude, honestly, like confidence wise, like I knew I was going D1. Like the only one that was like kind of freaking out were like my parents. Like they were still freaking out about me making varsity baseball, like going into 8th grade, going into freshman year. Like I'm not even committed yet. Like so they were like like I hope you make varsity. And then all of a sudden I get committed. So like in my head, like I was just like, dude, it's just another day. Other than I have freshmen in high school coming up to me like, bro, you're going to college already? I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like other than that, it was just kind of like so just being in the baseball world, like it was just so normal for me. Like I didn't expect anything less. Like I was just like, here I am. Like I'm just gonna. This is what I do.
Honestly.
Yeah,
I think South Jersey is baseball's a little different compared to you know my part of New York. Like when a guy commits to go D1, you're like, oh shit, like that guy's going D1, like he's a big deal. And there's as we know now, there's 300 D1 schools, so it like starts to kind of lose value as you start to realize what schools people are going to and things like that. Dude, that's really cool, especially like the fact that you loved Maryland, like kind of for so long. You loved it already. That's really cool.
No, dude, it was definitely special. Yeah, I mean that's basically my Maryland story. I mean after that it was like I hate to say it, but like after I committed, it was like, all right, this is cool, but like I'm not going to college. Like I'm gonna get drafted. Like
you knew for a long time.
Head. Like as soon as I was a freshman, I was like, dude, if I ever have the opportunity to play professional baseball, like not even going to college. Like, I don't care if I
That's
sign for a
cool.
cookie, bro. I was like, I literally told my parents, I was like, dude, they could give me a cookie right now, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to play professional baseball.
Yeah, I
It was
think
just like,
I think I was in that group included where I was like, dude, they give me a slice of pizza and I'm on the plane
yeah,
going to wherever they want. And I think a lot of guys, think that. We're going to talk about the draft later. We'll get into that stuff eventually.
that's fine.
But I still want to kind of break down still what high school baseball was like for you.
Yeah.
You guys a super competitive team? Were you guys consistently making a run to states every year? What was that like?
Yeah, I don't know how relevant like the groups are outside of New Jersey for people, but we were like a group 4 school, so we were like a pretty big school. So like we played against like, if you're from the New Jersey area, we played against like Bishop Eustace, like Gloucester Catholic. They're like all like pretty good like East Coast teams. I mean, we played against some of our rivals that were high schools like Shawnee and Cherokee, and they are like, dude, like they were fights. Like we had some good players on our team. Like we've had. I mean, the year before me, my best friend got drafted from my high school, and then I got drafted the year after. And like for high school baseball in New Jersey, like that's kind of like absurd.
That's
So I mean, I would say our high school team was pretty dang good. Like I don't think it would compete with like the top Florida or California schools. Like obviously not.
Those
like,
places are different. It's a different beast.
But like, dude, like we were very, very competitive. Like it was. And the thing was, dude, none of our like the kids on our team like practiced. Like they would show up like legitimately try out day, and that was the first time they picked up a baseball in like months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's just kind of how the Northeast is because it's just so cold and it sucks to try to train and get stuff together. Like I've been in Florida for, not last year, but past 2 off seasons, I made sure I got down to Florida to get my training going because it's the only way to get ready for the season.
Of course, yeah. I mean, dude, I'm inside every day, and it's like it's just so repetitive. Like waking up, trying to wake up at 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, I'm freezing. I'm staying in bed.
Yeah, that's not what you want. Not what you want at all.
Northeast grinders, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a question I like to ask everybody is kind of leads into a bigger question. Do you know who Ricky and Keel is?
Like the name, 100%. Like if you told me to like draw a picture of him, I couldn't draw a picture.
Don't worry, that's not the next question.
Don't know.
But I asked people that because I was listening to an interview with him once, and he talked about how he threw like 9 no-hitters in high school. Yeah, and it's the most like what the hell story. Like that's not even fair if someone's putting up numbers like that.
Yeah, no.
And I talked to Burroughs about it. Burroughs had a really good story. Do you have any kind of story like that where like you had like 3 home runs in a game, or you hit like set a record in New Jersey high school baseball? Like was there anything like that for you?
Yeah. So like career wise, like I'm a breakdown.
Career wise, game, whatever.
Yeah. So career wise, I mean, like because you're asking me the question, like humble brag, I think I have almost every single record at Eastern High School, like my high school, like not even. Maybe like one pitching one, but like career doubles, career triples, career home runs, single season home runs, single season triples. Like, dude, you can go down the line. And it's like I literally have a book somewhere where it's like, or like one of our ad books, and it's like literally every single thing.
That's
and like
sick.
I didn't even know I was doing it until like my dad wrote it all down for like when I got my jersey retired or whatever, and I was like, Jesus Christ,
they retired your number too?
Oh yeah, my school retired my number also. Yeah.
Oh my god, they got
retired like 2 years ago. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. But
that's special.
Single season and game, I think I had a two home run game or so. I know I've had multiple 4 or 5 hit games, which is just like, but like single season, I was a sophomore in high school, and we played like 30 games, 28 games, and I think I had like 54 hits, 9 homers. Like I broke the single season hits record, the single season home run record, dude, all in my sophomore year.
God.
Yeah, so like I can't pick out a game, like because
overall though, the career is just you went up there with the bat and you knew you were hitting a wall or hitting a gap somewhere.
Yeah, like humbly, yeah, like it was pretty absurd.
It's okay. I'm asking the question. You're allowed to.
No, I know, but like it was pretty absurd. Like
that's awesome.
And it was just me, like even like the kid that got drafted before me, like we were both just like. Do we have a picture in a newspaper that says the Bash Bros? Because he would hit a home run, he would go to the dugout, and then I would hit a home run. He would come up, and we would do like the
I know you mean the forearm thing. Yeah,
dude, like we had a whole article about that. Like it was pretty crazy. Dude, high school was like unbelievable.
That sounds like fun. Who's the guy that got drafted? Who's your buddy?
David Schneider. He's with the Blue
Interesting.
Jays now.
The Blue
Yeah, so
Jays.
we play against him in spring training and stuff.
Oh, cool.
He's a 2017 grad, and I was 2018.
Okay, I got you. So we wouldn't have seen him in
Yeah.
like the GCL or something.
No. He was a level above us always.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Damn, that's awesome. Sounds like the high school's a fucking blast. Sounds like it was
Yeah,
pretty.
no, high school.
Sounds like it was a good time.
Yeah, I had a great time. But like in the moment, dude, it was just like I was just doing my thing. Like I had no idea about anything.
Well, you had some idea because you did mention earlier, like you're like, all right, I'm committed. I want to go get drafted now.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? I think the craziest thing I've ever done, like the manifestation stuff, like talking about manifesting, dude. When I was in like 6th grade, I remember this kid Nick Tierno, who actually got me with my agency, who I'm with now. He had the hits record at Eastern High School. It was like 120 something, like in a career. Yeah. Right? It was a pretty good number, dude. I remember being in 6th grade, and I'd be like, Dad, like I'm gonna beat that like hits record when I get to high school.
Oh man,
and they were,
dude, I got
my
chills
parents were just
there.
like, yeah. And then freshman year rolled around, and I was like, no, like that. I don't even care about season. Like ultimately, like I will beat that. And I mean, like awesome. That was the one thing like I was going for, and I ended up beating that. So like being able to like think of that as such a young kid, and then like actually make it happen, like other than getting drafted and stuff, like that's such a specific,
such a specific like focused in goal. And I mean, it sounds like you like shattered it. You didn't just break it, you shattered it.
Yeah. But so like, dude, if I had to say one like anything I did in high school, like I felt like that was like my most satisfying moment out of everything. That's was like dude. Having that one goal in mind and then finally be able to accomplish it like 7 years later. Yeah, dude.
That's cool, dude. That's really cool. Yeah. Shit. But so like you said earlier, though, once you committed to college, though, your kind of your vision, your goal was, like, all right, that was cool. I'm getting drafted, though, baby. I'm going to play pro ball. I'm making this dream 100%. Really come true. And for a lot of guys, this is a huge thing I talk about with people on here. A lot of guys think like, oh, if I get drafted, that'd be so cool. Like, I really want that. But it's an if, it's a want, like it's a maybe. When did that go from if I get drafted to when I get drafted? When did that moment kind of start to occur for you?
I would say it was probably like a year after I committed, because it kind of like after I committed, it kind of took me a year to like fully engulf like what I could be like legitimately. But I remember like going into my sophomore year or like my summer after committing, and like perfect game stuff, but like we would go to perfect game tournaments all the time, dude. And I remember like having. Because like unless you bought the membership for Perfect Game, like you could only get like the top 50 players in the country, right? Like I don't know if you're too familiar about Perfect Game, but like if you didn't buy an account with them, you could only see like the top 50 players in the country for your class.
Yeah, I never really got to invest in that stuff. I saw like I was like a high follow at one point. Like that's the only thing I ever noticed.
Yeah. Well, the reason I noticed is I went on one day because like that used to be a big thing in our travel program. Like when our team would be like, oh, who's
when you're 16, 17, like that's something you care about.
It was awesome. Yeah. But I remember going on and seeing I was 15th in the country. And I was like, yo, like this. No, I think I was 8th. I was
overall or for outfielders?
Overall for everything.
Holy
right.
Shit.
So I like as soon as I saw that, I was like, yo, I know that like the top 100 people get drafted. And like the top 8 to 10 people in Perfect Game are like first rounders. So like in my head, I see that and I'm like, holy shit, like I can make this a thing, And then like moving on from that, it was just kind of like, then I dropped to like 30 because I didn't do so many Perfect Game showcases, and that's how it goes. Like the only reason I got that rank was because I committed as a freshman. Then I dropped to like 30, and then I was around like 30, 50 bouncing. Right, this is kind of how I reference like how my draft thing went. And like, if you're familiar with like the Perfect Game All-American game and stuff like that.
Did you go play that?
No. So what happened was, this is what I was going to get into, like prior to the draft, like so freshman year killed it. Sophomore year killed it. Junior year, we go to Los Angeles for our baseball trip for high school. Like we always take a trip somewhere, usually like Disney, but like we went to LA this year, and I dislocated my shoulder on a check swing.
Oh.
So I ended up missing like 15 to 20 games, which like, if anyone knows, like junior year of high school is like kind of like your big year to like, hey, this is when all the big showcases are, the big, like if you're not committed to a college already, this is like big for you.
Yeah, because that summer happens and then you go into the school year, and by the time you come out of your high school season, the draft is right there.
The next summer is the draft. So I remember going to a Perfect Game showcase that summer, and like dude, after disloading came, that like I was scared, bro, to swing again. Like I was swinging in high school, but like finishing my swing was scary, dude. Like because it would like click and stuff and hurt.
Ooh.
So I remember going into my summer, going to like the PG National, which is like the big showcase besides like that All American game thing. And I remember doing like pretty decent, but like I wasn't there. Like I was skinny, bro. Like I was just like not in shape because I was injured. And I remember dropping from like the 40th rank, which like now looking like it doesn't matter to me. Like I didn't care what rank I was, but to make this game to get like more exposure, like it mattered. And I remember dropping from 50 to like 160 after the showcase. And I got a text from the dude like about the All-American game. It was like, sorry, man, you were one of our last choices, but we didn't pick you. And I was like, thanks, bro. Like, thanks for telling me that. Like, you could have just said I didn't make it. Like, what is that about? Great dude. Like, great feel.
Clueless.
No feel
just absolutely clueless. Yeah.
No feel, dude.
Like, thanks. So I was almost good enough.
Yeah, so I would say that I would say that definitely hurt like my draft status a little bit, but like also like I mean I don't regret anything that's happened in my career so far.
Yeah.
But that was definitely something that affected the outcome of the draft for me. So that was kind of like that's when I kind of knew like when I started getting those rankings and seeing it and going to tournaments and people were like asking for my autograph on like cards. I was like, dude, I'm like a sophomore in high school. You got to chill out. I don't even know my signature yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say
You know?
it's just like you're like okay, J, A. You do that on like every single one.
I'm remembering like first grade cursive. I'm like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
that's cool,
basically
man.
that's
I think that's a really special moment, and it's important for a lot of guys. And it's something still I'm always gonna remember my moment, and it's always cool to look back on. But so yeah, that whole debacle with Perfect Game happens. You know, kind of move forward, going to your senior season, and you know you're going to Maryland next year, or you're getting drafted. Were you talking to the Maryland coaches a decent amount, like talking like, hey, like I don't know if I'm coming, or were they just like, please don't get drafted, please come here and play outfield?
Yeah, so like when I committed, like shortly after a kid around my area named Nick Decker committed, he's actually with the Red Sox now. He was a second rounder. But when we both committed, they were like, listen, like the odds of us getting on campus are so slim. But they were just like excited to like have us and have the chance to like have us. So when we were in conversation with them, they were like, listen, like we know this is an opportunity, but like of course they're given like their spiel of like, hey, our school's awesome, like we're doing these changes and this changes, like the typical recruitment like thing to get you to go to college. So like I mean they were kind of like they knew what was going to happen, but they were kind of like, I'm hoping that he like decides to go. Dude, yeah, sorry bro, that cut out on me. I didn't know. Dude,
all right, now we're back. We're back. All right. But anyway, so yeah, senior year starts to get going. When did kind of draft letters start coming in? When did scouts start showing up to the games? When did all that stuff start to happen for you?
Yeah, I mean, draft letters came in probably around the time of like beginning of senior year. I mean, that's kind of when they like start reaching out to you. And I was like completely new to it. Like the agent I had, it was just like we were kind of like she started her new agent, like she started an agency, and I was like one of her first clients. So we were like kind of going through this process together. So like I got those letters and like I was like filling them out and stuff. But they came in the beginning of senior year, and I mean moving on from that, it was just like I would have like scouts come and like watch me take batting practice at my facility, or like give me a call and talk to me, or like they would come to my house and just give me like the whole like, hey, this is our organization, this is our spiel of like what levels are what you're gonna expect out of organization. Always saying that they're interested, like even if it was just something they got sent out to do. Like I had like 6 or 7 teams come to my house, which was actually pretty surreal. Like when you actually get to meet like a scout that's like, hey, they have a chance to give me money to go play like and live my dream out. It was kind of like they would show up to my house. I'd be like, oh, this is crazy.
That's awesome. It's the greatest thing ever.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. Were you a guy that, I mean, I know you, I'm going to guess the answer. I can guess the answer to this, but you were a guy that as this like started picking up, you got more and more excitement, or were you a guy that started to get a little nervous and intimidated by it?
Dude, I mean, I got really excited, but like, there's always that factor of like, am I able to do this?
Yeah.
You know, like whether like you believe it or not, like that subconscious, just like, can I do this? Like you watch these professional MLB players perform, and it's like, can I do that? Like, I know I'm good for my area, and I know I'm good like nationally to get drafted, but like, am I good enough to like actually become a big
To work
leaguer?
it through the
Your goal
minors
when
and,
you
get
drafted.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not getting drafted. Like, yes, your worry is getting drafted, but like, you think after that, it's like, am I going to be able to hit that pitching, or am I able to strike out those batters that are like way so good? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, getting drafted is so cool, and if you get your name called at all, it's a special thing. But there is a difference in getting drafted and being a big leaguer. Like, there is a huge gap.
Huge difference, dude. Huge mental gap, huge physical gap. Like, it's just like a completely different ball game, dude.
Yeah, man.
Like, yeah. My draft day is a whole different story. We'll get into that.
Exactly. That was the next question, man. Let's get into draft day, because you're a high school guy. You were a fairly high prospect. People talked about you a decent amount. You were on the perfect game rankings and stuff like that. What, like, were you guys sitting at home day one thinking like, yo, I might get a phone call right now?
Yeah, so that's kind of where it got tough. Like, I don't think my draft experience was any kind of enjoyable at all. Like, even when my name was called, it wasn't enjoyable, to be honest with me. Which is like, it sounds selfish, but like, once you hear the story, you'll kind of understand. So like I said, like the rankings going through junior year and like sophomore year, like, they were unbelievable. And then I said I got dropped to like 150 or whatever. So I knew I didn't make the perfect game, All-American game. And like, those are like staples of a high school player. Like, you have to make them kind of to get drafted high. Like, it's just kind of like the thing. So when I got dropped like it, I was like, okay, like, I know I'm not a first rounder anymore. Like, after that happened, it was like, that's out of the question. Like, no matter how good I do senior year in high school, I'm a Northeast kid. They're going to see 4 games. It's cold out. No one's going to want to come see me. Like, this was the summer I had to do it. So I was like, okay, first round's out of the question. But I was like, anywhere from second to like last round is still in the picture. But like, getting all the hype when I was younger, I was like, there's no way I don't get drafted like above 10, like 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever. Yeah. Like, I was like, dude, I'm definitely like a top 5 rounder. Like, in my head, I was like, my playing skills a top 5 rounder. I played against kids that are first rounders. Like, I was better than a lot of them.
Compare yourself. Like, you thought you measured up.
Exactly. And I mean, all that perfect game stuff hurt a little bit. So going like into the draft, it was like, I had the main people, literally everybody dropped off like towards draft day. The only person left was the Pirates. Only one left. And the scout, dude, he's my boy, bro. I love this guy. Dan Radcliffe. I believe he called me the other day. He is still with us. Dude, greatest dude ever. Thanks him for everything. But like, inch closer to draft day, and like, the Pirates were the only one. And like, you know how the draft works. It's like, dude, they gave me a call like on the first day. I knew I probably was not a first day guy. Like, the first 2 rounds went by, you kind of get an understanding of where you're going to be. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I'm definitely a second day guy, like 100%. Like, dude, I just blew up high school baseball. I blew up travel baseball. Like,
you were confident. You knew you played well, and you were
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the Pirates came and watched me, and I put on a show in BP, like, stupid. I was like, bro, there's no way like I don't get drafted on the second day. So they call me on the second day, like or call my agent in the morning on the second day before the second day happens. And he's like, hey, like, will Jack go in the 11th or like 11th round for like such and such money? Mm-hmm. And I was like, she called me and I was like, yeah, are you kidding me? Like 100%. But, and it was like, if this other person doesn't like take this kind of money or whatever, like, you're going to be the pick. Like, this person's asking for too much money. Yeah. So like, there was like the 11th round, and it was like, hey, take such and such for this much money. Like, oh, and I was like, dude, hell yeah. Like, I will take that no matter what. Like, I don't care if they gave me $10 in the 11th round. Like, I'm still an 11th rounder. And then I remember, because I'm still in high school. Like, I'm still going to class, like, while the draft is going on. Like, I'm not home.
You had school?
Yes, dude. So I don't know when. Like, it's the last couple of days of school, so we're not doing anything. Dude, I'm telling you, bro, there is no worse feeling. Like, it would have been one thing to sit at home and not get called, but sitting at every class when people know you're going to get drafted, and every class is like, did you get drafted? Did you get drafted? Oh. And I'm like, no. And like, people are going to say, yeah, that doesn't matter. Like, like, it does. Like, it eats at you. You're like, no, I didn't get drafted yet. Like, when they know you're going to get drafted.
Yeah.
So like, I remember like the whatever, the 4th round starts on the second day. So 4th, 5th, I knew I wasn't going to get called. So like a 9th round rolls around, nothing. 10th round rolls around, nothing. I'm sitting on the computer like watching this.
Are you still in class right now?
Yeah, I'm in class, dude. Like straight up in class.
Day. Oh my God.
Right. 11th round goes by, nothing, dude. Whatever that second day went to, nothing was called, and I'm like, what is going on? Like I'm getting pissed. Like I'm like in my head.
It's stressful, man. It sucks.
Dude, like in my head, I'm like, I'm going to college. Like that's what I told myself. Even though I said I'd sign for a cookie, like the reality hit me, and I was like, I'm going to college. Right.
Yeah.
So second day passes by, and I'm like, dude, I'm like furious, like really mad. And then the third day rolls around. It's like, hey, are you cool with the 22nd pick or the 27th round? And I was like, yes. Like, just get me drafted. Like that's all. I told my agent, I was like, whatever you need to do, just get me signed. Like I don't care where it's at. Right. So then the round rolls by. I'm in class again. Round goes by. Dude, nothing, bro. Like nothing at all. Right. Then finally, I got a call in like the 20-something round, and it was some like whole thing. I had like a talk with my scout. I won't go into detail about any of that, and I was literally like, no, like straight up, like I'm not gonna take whatever you just offered me. Like I was like, I need a different offer. It was some like weird thing that whatever. But so I remember like I made that call, and I was supposed to go to my facility that day to train, and I'm just pissed off. I'm like, screw this, bro. Screw baseball. Like I don't like want to play anymore. Like stuff like that.
You got a little emotional.
Like I'm just pissed, bro. I remember literally like I didn't turn my phone off. I just stopped answering my phone. Like I just put it on ringer, and if it was a call, I would answer. If it was a text, I'm not answering it. Because I was like, bro, this is done. It's the 25th round. Like it's done. So I remember I went and got Wendy's, bro, and I just sat in the parking lot, and I'm just eating Wendy's, and I'm pissed off, dude. Like I'm legitimately like furiated. All of a sudden, dude, I hear bing, 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 bing. Dude, like my phone is lighting up.
Starts shaking. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And then so I look at my phone, and I'm have like 150 texts in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I got like 2 calls in a row. One was my agent, one was my scout. And I answered my scout first. He's like, congratulations, like you were our 30th round pick. And I was like, dude, in my head, I was so excited because I got called. But then I like hung up, and like I talked to my agent, and like we were like, oh, this is awesome. And like before this, I even told my Maryland coach, I was like, yo, like I'm coming to school. Before I even got picked, I was like, yo, I'm coming to school, because I was so pissed off.
No.
Right. I was like, yeah, I said there's a high chance I'm going to I'm God.
Go.
Right. So then my name got called, and I'm pissed, and like I come home, and like my parents are congratulating me, and like I'm happy. Yeah, like I got drafted. Like this is awesome. But it's like when you have such a high expectation and it gets dropped like 100 meters below that.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, because I knew I was going to get drafted. It was just like I knew I could be so much better with the draft and get so much more money and do this. I remember coming home, and like I sat down with my parents. Like my girlfriend was with me at the time. And, I mean, she's still with me, but like she was with me at the time. Like,
yeah, she was physically there. Yes.
Yeah, she was physically there, and I remember sitting there, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna call the coach from Maryland right now and tell him I'm coming." And they all were like, and my mom's a huge component of school. Like she wanted me to go to school until like I got drafted, and she sat there and realized like that's actually what I wanted. Like she knew I didn't want to go to school, so she sat there and like they were all like, "Listen, like you've been begging to get drafted. You said you would go for a cookie." They said, "Just go to sleep tonight. Don't say anything to anybody. Just sleep on it, wake up, and then make your decision." Because you have a couple days to make a decision, but like after sleeping on it, everything changes. Bro, I remember it was an unbelievable feeling. I went to bed pissed off, and like when you sleep, it's like that. So I wake up, dude, and it's like I literally woke up and I was like, I'm a professional baseball player. Like this is absurd.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I woke up feeling so awesome, and I was like, you know what? Like screw it, dude. I'm going for it. So I called my coach, and I mean he was not happy.
I'm sure.
But yeah,
I'm sure he wasn't happy.
Told him, and then like I remember I like accepted it that day, and then I was able to put it on my social media and stuff. And like that's not why I got drafted, but it's always cool. Like it's awesome,
definitely
you know
cool.
what I mean?
Yeah, I mean I'll be lying if that's not one of the. I did that pretty shortly after too. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, especially like your closest friends, like them watching you have your dream come true, like part of your dream. Like, that was like, I didn't even care. Like, other people, like, yeah, like it's cool. Like, they're happy for me. Like, they're always gonna be happy for you.
Yeah, but to share that moment with your friends,
but like, dude, like, they're close knit. Like, bro, you did it, bro. Like, you're the one that made it, bro. Like, you did it. like that shit was like, oh, that hit me,
Yeah.
So dude, after that I like accepted it, and I mean the rest is history.
Yeah, dude. Damn, you really freaking dove into detail on that. That's probably the best. That's probably the most detail I've gotten so far on this, and that's a fantastic story, dude. Damn,
Yeah,
I'm
man,
so glad you signed. Because then
dude,
shortly after that, you signed, dude, and you end up in the GCL with good old me.
Heck yeah, bro. We had a great time.
God,
bro.
but I hated that league so much.
Dude, everyone does, bro. At least you're lucky I got to get out of it for a little while.
Yeah, we had like 3 games left.
Yeah, but still, bro, the feeling of just getting out, bro, I was just like, dude, our team
3 games left. I was like, all right, sweet. I'll go visit my girlfriend after this. This will be nice, little break. And I forget. Anyways, let's stay on top. Let's stay on topic. What was kind of your impressions of the GCL, and like how, as your first experience in pro ball, it's not what you expect. It's not what I expected at all.
No, it was especially like how we used to be, like how our practice used to run. Like, I mean, our practices taught me so much.
We had legitimate practice.
Yeah, no, and it was like practice. Like you're sweating like more than you've ever sweated.
Dude, I would, as a pitcher, like I would do nothing. Dude. I would come back in afterwards, hang my shirt in the locker, and there'd be a puddle when I got back because it was disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, before I go into GCL, bro, like I'm lucky that like the Pirates and Turge, our manager in the GCL, ran the first year of pro ball or GCL like that way. Because coming out of high school, like I needed some extra structure in my first year. Like if it was just like, hey, you're thrown in A ball, I'm living on my own and I'm like can wake up whatever time, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the structure of our facility and everything, it kind of helped a little bit. But yeah, dude, at GCL, I remember showing up, and like when you were one of the first people I met, you were just sitting there like hanging out, playing video games.
Yeah, was it you, Hog, and Milok that all came in?
Yeah.
Farmer.
So then I remember, dude, the first day of practice, it was like coach, like the only thing I remember from the first day of practice was BP on the field. Coach stands 10 feet away with an L screen, 100-mile-an-hour fastballs with sliders. Get good BP. I'm like, dude, I didn't hit a ball fair. And like, this is my first introduction to pro ball. And I legitimately was like, yep, I should have went to college. Like, I was like, if the pitching is anything like this, I should have went to college. Like, this is absurd. Because I only saw 90 once in a while in travel ball. Like, I was like 80, like in high school, you know?
That's true. That's something I didn't think to even ask you about. But yeah, dude, I mean, I know that sounds intimidating at first, but dude, you had 340 in that first season. You did fantastic. You had a 924 OPS, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
no, I 18 years old.
Yeah, no, that was very, like, honestly, I was even surprised. Like, I knew I could do it. Like when it was happening, it was completely normal for me. But like after the year ended and like I got like the all-star selection for the GCL, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, dude, I'm a 30th rounder from South Jersey, Northeast. Like probably they just put me on the team as like a placeholder to begin with. Like not literally, but like it was just kind of like, hey, we drafted this guy, and it's like we don't expect him to do something crazy.
That's a better way to put it than a placeholder. Yes.
Yeah. I was just not expected to do what I did, you know. But like I kind of went on to the GCL like with a chip on my shoulder, like, hey, like I love the Pirates to this day. Like they're the ones that drafted me. Like I love my scout, but it was kind of like a hey, like a big, you know what? Like
I know what you mean.
I should have been better than this. Like I'm gonna show you. You should have seen more of this. Like you should have seen this. I want to show other teams. It's like, hey, you missed out, dude. This is gonna be stupid. You know.
I think as we've been talking, I kind of like came up with this in my head, and I think it's the perfect way to describe you as a player and as a person. You're a top round talent with that chip on your shoulder of you didn't get drafted high, which I think is even more important than having the talent part, because having the mindset of like, yo, F everybody else. Like I need to be playing better than them because they were all drafted ahead of me. They were all, paid more than me. Like I need to be I have to have my foot on the gas the entire way. But you have that mentality, but you have that talent at the same time, which is a really rare thing to have. I
appreciate that, bro. But that's exactly how I feel. Like they would show us that one video of The Rock explaining his like $3, like his company, whatever it was,
$8 or whatever it is.
Yeah. $7 company.
Whatever.
But dude, the one thing that hit me from the video, he was like, dude, I need to have my back up against the wall at all times. Like, or I won't be moving forward. He goes, I can't have any like fallback net. And like, that's how I feel. Like, even if I don't now, like I have a prospect status, whatever, that does not matter to me. It's like my back is up against the wall. If I have one bad season, I'm out. Like, that's how I play. Like, I'm like, I need to, like, there's no other like option for me. And I feel like I've been like that since I got drafted. Even before that, after getting hurt, I was like, dude, pedal to the metal. Like, there is nothing, like, I don't have leeway, dude.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, I mean, I can go back to college, but I can never go back to college for baseball. It's like, I either do it now or I never do it. So I just do, especially during the season, I just try to live with like my back up against that wall. And it's like, dude, I have nowhere to go backwards. I can only go one way. You know?
Absolutely. And dude, and you've done a great job of that so far. I mean, through your first spring training as a high school guy, you know, with the Pirates, you're kind of automatically sent to extended, and you know, most guys go to a short season team. You were one of the guys that actually broke out of that mold, and you broke into full season, into low A, and you were my roommate for a handful of days. I forget about that sometimes, but we were roommates for a couple of days in low A in Greensboro. What was kind of that feeling when you were told that, you know, you're going to be able to get out of extended?
Well, dude, the crazy thing is, which, I mean, I don't know if you guys at Greensboro do anything about it, but like, dude, when spring training ended and you guys went off, like I was completely hurt, right? Like I knew I was going to extended. Like I was not like hurt at all. Like I was like 100%. Like I know I'm going to extended. Dude, 2 days into extended, I popped my hamstring running around second base.
That's right. I knew something happened.
So like so I popped my hamstring running around second base. We were just doing like base running drills. Dude, I missed like almost 2 months of extended, and extended's like 3 months long. I missed like a month and a half, 2 months. Dude, it was one of those things where it's like every time I got better, I heard it again. And like, dude, like my injury in high school was like, okay, 15 games I missed. But like, dude, missing pro ball, knowing I'm a 30th rounder and I have to play and I cannot be hurt, like it was like so demeaning, bro. Like I was never so, like, I wouldn't call it depression, but it was just one of those things where I was just like, always just like, dude, like this is terrible, dude. I'm not playing. I can't show what I can do. And it's like, I'm still trying to get it extended. Like, I don't even know if I'm getting out of extended. Because if you're hurt and extended, you're not getting shipped off. You're going back to the GCL for a bit. And that was like the one thing I was like, I cannot have this happen. So I ended up getting healthy, dude. And at the time, like in Greensboro, like some dudes just weren't hitting well. Like we see that down there on the extended. We're always like looking at it. We're like, maybe we have a chance to go out. Maybe we have a chance to do this. And I'm sitting there hurt. Like, I don't care. Like,
dude, that's what everyone do. Everyone does that. If you're playing well, you start looking up. If you're playing bad, you start looking down.
Yeah, it's natural. It's human nature. But I remember I came back from my first game, and Mikey Burrows, you're my best friend, bro. But thank you for this, right? So, first game back, it's an inter squad, and Jonah Davis just got sent down. One of my best friends, bro. I love Jonah to death. He got sent down, and like a bunch of kids from Greensboro got sent down, whether it was an injury or they weren't doing well. And I remember I went like 2 for 2 in this game. One hit was not off of Mike. I had like a walk off of Mike, and then dude, Mike threw me this dirty 2-seam like low in it, and somehow I like golfed it out and put it off the wall in left field. I have to add that in, even though it's not even like that close to relevant, just because me and Mike go about it all the time. But I remember like that day, bro, this is actually like not sad, but like, so I that hit or whatever happens, like my day goes on. And then I remember like halfway through the day, this is not relevant to getting called up to Greensboro, like it will be. I remember getting a call halfway through the day, and dude, my parents were like, hey, like my dog of like 12 years died. Right. So like, dude, like halfway through the day, like I'm in my room and I'm like up, like thank God I wasn't home where I would have been crying, but like I was like in my room, I'm just like, oh my God, dude. And I'm laying there. I remember me, Mike, and Fishback are laying there watching a movie, and all of a sudden I get a call on my phone, and Mike was on the phone. So like Mike wasn't paying attention. I get a call, and it's Kyron Madison.
Yeah.
It was Maddie, bro. And he goes, hey Jack, like, are you busy? And I'm like, no, dude, I'm in Pirate City. I can't be busy, bro. And he's like, hey, I just want to congratulate you, bro, but like pack up your shit, dude. You're going to Greensboro. And I was like, dude, I literally was just like, what? Because, like, dude, I'm hurt this whole time. I'm not supposed to even go
Yeah.
like anywhere close to that. Bro, I'm sitting there on the phone throwing quarters at Mike. I'm like, dude, I'm going up. I'm going up. Because, like, that's the goal. You got to get out of extended. Like, that's
Just get out of extended.
Dude,
Yeah.
As soon as somebody gets out, you're so happy for them. You're like, dude, congrats, bro. Dude, I'm throwing stuff at Fishback and Mike. I'm like, I'm out. I'm going up. So I remember, dude, I had to pack that night and leave at like 7 a.m. with Connor Kaiser going back to Greensboro, dude. And dude, it was like the most surreal thing because, like, as I went from so sad, and then I call my parents and being like, hey, like, I'm getting called up, and it's like they were shocked because I was like, I was injured. Like, it was not an expected thing. Dude, it was like the craziest moment of my life. And so honestly, me and Jonah still talk about this. So far, yeah, obviously, dude. Every time I get called up, it's like the best day of my life. I don't care if I'm called up to high A, dude. Like, if I make high A this season, like, it will be the happiest day of my life. Like, that's like every step. I'm just like so excited.
Yeah.
But me and Jonah actually joke about this, bro. The next day when I was flying out, he was the one that didn't get sent back up, which he got sent back up way later, because he was just fixing his swing and stuff. But he, like, saw me in the lobby. Like, we weren't that close. And, like, I have my suitcase and stuff, and I'm replacing what he just was in Greensboro. So, like, he's just not even looking at me. And I was like, dude, I felt bad. I was like, damn, dude, like, this is your spot. I'm taking, like, it's still like a personal thing. And then I remember getting a text from Jonah like 2 weeks later. He goes, hey, Jack, I'll see you soon. I love you. And I was like, bro, you went from hating me 2 weeks ago to, like, now he's like,
now you're gonna be boys.
Like,
you're gonna be standing next to each other in the outfield. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like, I talk to him every week, bro. Like, it's so funny how fast something can switch. It's not like we hated each other because we were taking each other's
No,
shots.
it was just it was a business thing. It's just how it is.
It's a business, bro.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. But I mean, we still joke about that. He's like, dude, I was pissed, man. I was so pissed.
Sure, that's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, but dude, he's the man, bro. He crushed it this year in Greensboro.
Yeah, he did. He did fantastic once he got back up, and that's something that we all know Jonah's capable of all the time.
Dude. Yeah.
But, dude, what was kind of gonna try to wrap this up because we're getting close to that time.
That's fine. My AirPods are on 5% anyway, so.
All right, cool. Then let's just get right into the big two questions that I ask everybody to kind of end the podcast.
Gotcha.
When are me, you, and the Pittsburgh Pirates winning the World Series?
What is it? 2020 right now?
2021.
Oh, it's 2021. Yeah. Sorry, dude. It's like COVID's just messing up.
We forgot. Yeah, we left the whole year behind. It's 2021.
Let's see. If we have a season this year, 22, 23, like 20, 24-ish, 25. Like, right. after we're in the league for like a year, bro.
Get our feet underneath us. 2025 like, is the year of the Pirates.
As soon as our like Greensboro-ish, like high A, double A kids are like, as soon as we all merge together, bro, it's game over. Our prospects are legit, dude.
Yes, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Our prospects are legit, dude. We have like a really good system, and no one like appreciates it.
I'm excited.
We have a good ass system. Yeah,
we're coming for everybody. But yeah, last question to wrap this up. Question to ask everybody: what is some advice you would give 16-year-old Jack Herman going forward? If you could talk to him right now,
dude, it would just be, bro, like, trust yourself. Like, I think that's the biggest. Trust yourself and just keep working hard. I mean, like, I've always been a hard worker thanks to my dad. Like, even when I didn't want to be in the gym, I was in the gym because he was like, dude, listen, like, this is your dream. Like, there's no
other way to do it.
Corny, but there's no days off. I mean, there was days off, but like, there's no days off, bro. But I would just think it was, dude, trust yourself. Whether it's trusting your swing, trusting your ability, and just always having that like chip on your shoulder, like grinder mentality, dude. Like that's something I adopted in pro ball that I wish I had at 16, like facing better pitching and like excelling off that. And it's like, dude, like when I go up there now, it's like, I am better than you and I will beat you. Like there's no question. I don't care who, bro. I don't care if Chapman's on the mound. Like my mindset is like, throw a strike and see where that shit goes, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's like, fantastic. Trust and believe in yourself because your hard work is the only way you're going to get places.
Yeah, I just think trust. I think I would just be like, hey, trust yourself and don't think anybody's better than you because they're just a step ahead right now.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, dude, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you on social media? Oh,
you can find me at. I deleted Twitter just for a little while. I just want to get off the Twitter finger.
Yeah.
I don't tweet.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Just seeing all the stuff. in the world. So Instagram, you can find me at Jack_Herman_6. And then
The
I don't even
YouTube.
like
What's the YouTube? Are you still
Oh,
streaming?
dude, YouTube. I mean, you can go watch the 2 videos I have. I kind of got like lazy with it. It's just so much work, dude. And it's just
It's a lot of work. Trust me, I know.
I wish I could pay somebody
I know,
to do it.
Jack.
Like, I wish
It's
I
a
had the
lot of
money
work.
to pay somebody. Yeah. You can find me. It's I think it's just Jack Herman. Like my YouTube's just Jack Herman. There's a video or 2 on there that's not even my account of like when I was really little, and then there's a day in the life and a day in the life of going to spring training. So you can find me on that. I only have 1 video on TikTok, so don't look at that.
Thanks for coming on, Jack.
But yeah, heck yeah, bro. Appreciate it, Bradley.
Thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of the Minor League Take. I've been your host, Brad Case. As always, remember to rate, review, and subscribe to help, keep this thing going, keep on growing it, and keep on getting it better and better. Just a little update on my life. I've moved down to Florida. So I'm down here in West Palm right now, going to Cressy. If you guys don't know, Cressy's probably the greatest baseball gym in the entire world, and I am so excited to be here. As well as numerous high prospect guys I'm working out with. I'm also seeing guys like Justin Verlander, Noah Syndergaard, and a huge list of big leaguers that it's honestly insane if you just walk around that place and take a look. So I'm really excited to be there. It's been an awesome experience so far, and hoping that I can use this to get better and use this to get myself one step closer to the big leagues, because that's the ultimate goal. Go check out their stuff, because they're fantastic. If you're a young guy, you're trying to figure out what you should be doing, Cressy definitely can give you all the answers. So I really encourage that. All right. Thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of the Minor League Take. And I've been your host, Brad Case, and I'll see you guys next week.